Well, hello again. I don't have any music for you guys this week. Mainly because I pretty much need another week of practice because, well, it's hard to find lyric videos for some of these, but... So, we're going to go ahead and give it a couple weeks. Hopefully it'll be as bad as the other ones. But we can look around and drive around some random neighborhoods up here in Clintonville. See what we got going on. Nice quiet street. Some kind of school. So, I have quite the story about a busybody and his neighbor, 2 houses down from me, and just, I really don't talk to neighbors too much. And apparently, you're just damned if you do and damned if you don't, because if you don't talk to them, they want you to be part of the community and think you're a dick if you're not. If you do talk to them, well, they think you're a dick because you're a dick. So, we were going to have, and we'll probably still do it, we just got to get a permit to add 2 feet of a nice lattice frame on the top of our backyard fence, making the total roughly like 7 feet. Nearly 8 feet, so it'd probably be like 7.5. Anyway, our handy dude comes over there, starts doing his work. He had called the city ahead of time. They said, you don't need a permit for this. I'm assuming they misunderstood because it comes out that we do. So anyway, so while he's working on this thing, this little cocksucker, 2 houses down, comes over and is like, excuse me, sir, you need a permit for this. And he's like, I called the city and I don't think I do. He's like, he gets all irate and he's like, no, you do need a permit. And it starts somehow saying that, our fence is illegal because it's faced inside, right? So like all the stringers are on the outside and all the nice wood faces on the inside. Now, in some places, yes, that is illegal. Not illegal where I live. It's also not illegal to put up a fence in the first place without a permit, as long as it's not over 6 feet. Now, we didn't know whether or not you needed a permit to add something to it, like a decorative lattice, but apparently you do because, we just saw a deer. Apparently you do because it's over 6 feet, and it's permanent, affixed to the structure. Okay, all fine and dandy. Go ahead and call the people, get a fucking permit. Get that process going. Well, he goes into this fucking tirade about how we're so unsociable because we don't talk to anyone. Nothing says an asshole neighbor like one that's quiet and leaves everyone alone. And bitching about the fence in the first place. Now, the whole reason we wanted to put this lattice thing up was because our neighbors, the ones actually next to us, they have this giant, swing set that's got, a tree house in it and all this shit. And we would rather not see it. So, we just wanted to see, this is the difference. They put a structure in their yard that was over 8 feet tall. It's probably fine because it's not, semi-permanent. Probably not really a problem. But in any case, we're not the kind of dicks that are like, oh, you gotta go over there and take that down, right? We're just like, well, we'll just make our fence higher. Very good. And, what's funny is the whole, our actual neighbors next to us, they put up a pool. Now, if you put up a pool in your backyard, you need a fenced-in backyard because of liability and safety regulations, part of the code. Did we bother bitching to the fucking city? No. Did we bitch to them about it? No. Did the guy who's bitching about our fence bitch to him about it? Well, he didn't, because if he did, they would have put up a fence. And I'm only can assume that the whole reason he wants a fence or doesn't like the fences is because they obstruct his view of the children swimming or the neighbor's back windows. Because the only thing you can see out of the back of his house is another goddamn house. It's just the backyards of other people, some of which have fences anyway. So I don't know what this guy's problem is, but I was very much let him live his life. I noticed during the election he had a Biden sign in front of his house. Personally, I don't like putting that kind of shit. Same thing with bumper stickers. I'm not going to tell you all my fucking business in my front yard or on the back of my car. It's just a silly thing to do in general, in my opinion. And, but so I already know this guy is some old liberal Democrat who, he says things like community and all this shit, and he wants everyone to be part of his board collective. Well, I'm not having it. And we're going to get that fucking permit, and we're going to put that damn lattice up, and he's going to fucking pound sand. And if we don't get the permit, well, I'm just going to figure out a way to do other shit to fuck with him, because apparently he and his wife like to bitch about how people's yards look. Like, as if we live in a fucking neighborhood that has a homeowners association, which we fucking don't. He ought to move to one so he can be the little tin-horn fucking dictator of the neighborhood and tell people what they can have and what they can't have in their fucking yards. We didn't like all the shit that is on our neighbor's yard, right? We don't have a problem with them until it comes into fucking our yard. So I don't know why he's got to worry about a house that's fucking 2 houses away from him. I don't know. Our handy dude was like, yeah, every neighborhood's got one. Which I believe. But it really fucking pissed me off. And, I'm hoping I can catch him outside so I can be like, hey man, what's your problem with fences? And then he can tell me about it. And then I can be like, look here, you old F-slur. I don't know why you feel the need to watch all the kids playing in the backyards, but I'm fucking keeping my eye on you, motherfucker. Because I really just don't like that fucking mentality. Like I said, if our neighbors have a yard that looks fucked up, or has a bunch of ugly fucking shit in the back of it, which they do. They got this big, stupid, temporary pool that looks dumb. And a trampoline, because, somehow we live out in the boondocks with a fucking trampoline. Or like a big swing set. Which the swing set's actually nice looking, but, this kind of stuff, like, some people don't like looking at it. I don't particularly appreciate it. I don't like their Christmas decorations, because they use the fucking big-ass inflatables, right? I think it looks, I don't know, I think that stuff looks, hoky's not the right word. I find it looks trashy and chintzy, even though they're like, he's got like a 22-foot tall inflatable snowman. But I'm not going to bitch about it to him, or be like, we need to change this, I gotta make you fucking be like how I think. Like, fuck you. Fuck that guy. He's gonna find the wrong side of my fucking pimp hand. Like, yeah. So anyway, I just had to vent about that because I really just fucking hate people like that. They're just such busybodies. Like, dude. Like, mind your business. My yard is not your business. Like, I couldn't actually believe, like, when we first moved in there and put up that fence, the original fence, the neighbor beside us came over. I don't know why these neighbors seem to think that they can, like, come over and talk to the people that are working on our house. As if somehow they're going to, like, well, your neighbor doesn't like it. Oh, I don't give a fuck. It's not his fucking yard. Like I said, mind your fucking business. You don't like the way my fucking yard looks? Well, you can move, motherfucker. Like, I'm not moving. I'm not going to be made to feel uncomfortable because of your fucking problem. Like, you're the one with the problem. You don't like the way my fucking fence looks? Well, build your own fence and paint a pretty picture on it of a nice landscape. Whatever you want to look at. Fucking dick. Yeah, so that was my week. And then, okay, so I'm getting my getting all new tires put on the car this week. I should have it back by the time we do this next Monday. So we'll probably have a special episode. And then another, well, maybe it'll be 2 weeks before we get back to playing some music. Well, I guess I'm not playing music, but I'm singing it. Where do I want to go? Let's go this way. So we'll probably do a proper introduction of my other vehicle, even though it's been on, well, you've seen the hood of it, but it should be back in like tip-top rutted shape when I get it back. The new set of tires and a new transmission speed sensor and an oil change, which probably doesn't need, but then I'm going to just take this vehicle right in there, have my full-size spare put on, which kind of sucks because I ordered the tire, and then last night Amazon canceled it because they're out of stock. So I've got a so I ordered another one that actually ended up being cheaper, but so I gotta wait for that to come in, and then, you know, if I'm lucky, I'll have enough time this weekend to install my install some stuff in it. It'll be fun to see. I should probably clean it, but I won't. But I won't. So I was talking about applesauce last week, and so I went into the, you know, get my food tonight. So tonight I'll be dining on pepper jack sausages. I got some black bean and corn salsa. And let's go this way. But instead of getting normal cinnamon applesauce like I did the prior couple weeks ago, I got strawberry applesauce. I don't know if that's going to be any better or worse, but I'm excited to try it. Oh, look at the brick. I also bought some peach preserves, mainly because I needed to do sort of jam, and I hadn't tried those yet, so I'm going to try them. I'll let you know how that goes, because I do like peach. Oh, and another thing I discovered last week, I didn't know if I was going to like this stuff or not, because I really not a big fan of cranberry juice. It's a bit tart for my taste. However, I bought some white cranberry peach juice, and it's like the perfect juice. It's just got this like not an off flavor by any chance, but it's different. And that peach and that cranberry, they just go together so well. They really complement each other. And I mean, it's like $2.50 for a bottle of it, which is not unreasonable. Let's take a hang-a-louie. So I was well pleased with that. I think I drank the whole gallon like over the week. So I bought another one of those because that was delicious. There wasn't really much else new that I could try, but I have to say I really enjoyed that peach cranberry juice. I'm not really like trying to be like diet conscious, but there's a certain point where like I'm just so tired of soda that it's just like, ugh, I don't know. You just get tired of drinking the same fucking 3 flavors. It's like you got Mountain Dew, you got Sprite, you got Cola, and then you got fucking orange. And those are all decent. You know, this is my typical go-to for shit that I fucking drink. But I'm just getting tired of it. So I think the juice is better. It's not carbonated too, which is nice. The carbonation is more of a fucking problem than anything else. Because, man, you get that shit, it's all like, give you gas. So, but I'm really enjoying the juices. They're very nice. They had a white cranberry strawberry, but in my experience, strawberries just don't make a good juice. Because strawberry has a good flavor, but when you mix it with something tart, like the only thing that actually maybe that's not true. Because I do like strawberry lemonade's really good. So if you mix it with something like lemonade or lime, it works out well. But there's just, I don't know. I guess there's probably a limit of things that I would consider decent mixes with that kind of shit. Beach Walled. But that white cranberry peach, man, that was I've tried various types of peach juices, and all I'm looking for is the heavy syrup that comes in a can of canned peaches, because that's the flavor I want, right? That's the thing that I'm trying to get the experience of, which I guess I could just buy the canned peaches and eat the peaches and save the juice, but which I do from time to time anyway. But you know how it is. I'm just saying, like, certain types of peach juices and peach flavored things aren't all that good. Like, peach goes good in an iced tea. Peach iced tea is very decent. What is this? Is this Morse? Was this where I was? I don't think so. Oh, it's probably down a ways. Down to the right, if I take a right, it's the School for the Deaf. As long as you stay out of visual range, you can sneak around pretty easily. That fucking neighbor, man, he really fucking got my fucking goat. It's like, dude, you're like 70 years old. I mean, clearly you have nothing better to do than fucking worry about the fucking neighbor. Like, you spend all fucking day looking outside. This fucking asshole, before he walked over and talked to our handyman, the motherfucker got on his computer, checked our address to see if a permit had been pulled. So he walked over there asking about the permit, knowing that we didn't have one. Just like, and then like a few minutes after that, there's a fucking like a little city code enforcement car outside his fucking door. And I'm like, I'm sure that they're like, oh, fucking great. Mr. Dick Williker is fucking calling again. Someone took a shit in his fucking yard or something. Like, fucking asshole. But like, to go to the trouble of looking it up, I wouldn't even know where to begin doing something like that, because I wouldn't think of it. If my neighbors put up an 8-foot fence, I'd be like, fucking thank you. Like, thank you. Now I don't have to put up an 8-foot fence. He's not even the neighbor next to me. Like, he's got a really nice back deck. But it's a very small yard. And it's probably why he doesn't like the fences, because it makes his yard very small. If it were to be boxed in. So he likes to feel bigger than he is. And he's got a nice house. It's a super nice house. It's got this cool back deck. I mean, I like the fucking house just fine. Like, the fucking caucasity of this motherfucker. Oh, also, in other news, so I had to go down and failed to get some paperwork going so I could do my taxes here in a couple weeks. And part of that was I needed some statements from my brokerage accounts. I have an IRA that I contributed to, so I need to, document that. And I got the 1099 from the TD Ameritrade, but I just wanted to look it over and see what else there could be to see. So I get on there and I'm checking everything, and by God, I started with, I have two brokerage accounts. I have an IRA and a standard brokerage account that I started last year with the first round of stimulus money and my tax refund. And so I go in and I bought all kinds of, I bought various things. Basically just went through stuff that I buy or companies that I know, saw if they were affordable, and just some random shit. Well, out of that basically $500, $550, I think, because I might have put like $20 in here and there in those accounts. So out of that $500, now that portfolio is valued at roughly $900. So I doubled my money roughly. And I bought 10 shares of this fucking Japanese medical company, and for like $1.40 a share. And I went to check it. By God, they're $10 a share. So I fucking made out like a bandit on that bitch. So basically all the stuff that I had that went up quite a bit, if I had multiple shares of it, I sold some of that off. And so for profit taking, and then I'll use that to reinvest in some other stocks that are hopefully down next week. But yeah, I was pretty stoked about that. Felt like I'm not a day trader kind of person by any means, because I think at that point I don't have enough money to fuck in the market yet to really play with it like that. Because right now I'm just trying to build both accounts to a reasonable level. And I'm looking at this as like a long-term thing, but I'm hoping within like 5 to 10 years I can use my standard brokerage account to actually provide some income, and then route my dividend income to the IRA for retirement stuff, and kind of just start compounding that interest and compounding that portfolio into a nice retirement. And I'm off to a good start, so pretty happy about that. But it felt really good making money like that, I can tell you. I'm just hoping I can get those returns in there, sell that off, and then buy a bunch of other stuff, because I want to get a nice base of things. So buy 2 of everything, buy 2 shares of shit, of a bunch of different shit. One of them goes up a whole bunch, sell that, keep the other, and just keep building a very risk, I guess a low risk but also growth portfolio, which I know is kind of an oxymoron, but that's kind of why I'm doing both. You know what I mean? So yeah, I was pretty stoked about that. I haven't put any more capital into those accounts, but between the returns and the added capital that I'll put in there after I get done with the taxes and all these car stuff, I'm hoping to once I get above like 1,000, I can start playing a little more and playing a little more and playing a little more and just keep adding to it. And over the next 20 years, I can probably make that pretty decent. Yeah, nice little nest egg for my retirement. I think it's some of you probably are familiar with Pinoid and Mersh, and AP has gotten into it now. They're all doing the day trading shit, I think, from what I can tell, because they're like trying to sell it and make money like that, and I'm like, yeah, you can do that, but I don't know. It's all about. It's not really about how much you're going to make. It's more about what are you willing to lose. And so the way I'm doing it is I'm just buying little bits of a bunch of different things and hoping to make money every time. And the other stuff, I'll just hold it. If I buy a $2 stock that goes to zero, I mean, big fucking deal, I was kind of ticked off because I had to I bought a few shares of Marathon Petroleum Company that owns Speedway because obviously I go to Speedway, right? So that's one of the strategies is I buy stock from companies that I actually use, because basically if I add to their bottom line, I'm kind of just adding to my own bottom line. And of course, there's something to be said. I mean, once I get to a certain point, I'll buy their competitors as well. But initially, I think it's not a bad idea to just, keep it in-house, essentially. But they sold fucking Speedway to 7-Eleven. So I kept my Marathon stock as it is, but I went out and took some of that. I had some, I guess it would have probably been dividends. I had like $30 in dividends or loose cash in those accounts. So I put that into, I bought some, what did I buy? I bought some 7-Eleven, and I bought some, I bought Fubo. I bought like one share of Fubo. I should have bought two, but whatever. No. I had like $77 worth of loose cash in there. I don't know where that fucking came from. It might have been dividends and shit, or maybe like something. Maybe I got leveraged out of some fucking thing or another. I don't know. So, whatever. But I ended up with some loose cash, so I reinvested that in some other shit. I think Fubo was like $20 a stock, and it's fine. I'm really surprised my Twitter stock is like doubled, but I only bought one share. I'm going to sell it eventually because I'm not on Twitter anymore. And so, you know, Jack can go fuck himself. Because if they're, you know, if I can't make money for the company I have stock in by using Twitter and seeing the ads, then I'm certainly not going to be fucking helping Jack Dorsey fucking out, you know. That'll be one less fucking bag of heroin he can buy. I should start a Robinhood, I guess. But I might start a Webull, maybe. I don't know. I need to look into some other platforms to fuck with. Because, like, the fractional stuff, I kind of like the idea on a certain end, because I would just go in and be like, how many companies do you have? Get $100, I'll buy a dollar's worth of every fucking company that they list. Just basically start my own index fund. You know, basically what it would be. Well, yeah, so, you know, I'll go in, check that stuff out, then next time I have some time, I'll go down there and put some more capital into that thing. And then leave it alone for another 6 months, come back, do the same thing again, and just keep repeating that cycle and upping the frequency of when I check it. Because, man, you can probably drive yourself crazy checking your fucking stocks every week and being like, I feel like that's how a lot of investors get emotional and they sell when shit goes down. They're like, oh, I don't want to lose all my money. Like, but you can't do that. It's all about patience. Just ride that volatility, buy your dips, and sell your fucking highs. I am not a financial expert, or is this financial advice? I should probably say that. I am not a fiduciary. In fact, I am the opposite of a fiduciary. I will give you advice that will make me money before it makes you money. But now we got that disclaimer out of the way. Yeah, buy some fucking, dude, get into this shit. Or don't. I don't really care. Actually, no. You all should put your money in bank accounts. Just cash in a bank account. It's a safe place to put it. that way I can ride the inflation up comparatively with the rest of the world. I need to get to the point where I can buy some fucking Toyota stock, because I do like a Toyota. Good. I'm looking forward to getting my other car back. I miss it. I like driving this car, but it's got a little oil leak at the moment from the drain plug, and I don't like how this tire on the fucking driver's front side doesn't like to hold air. Like, there's just little things that with it where I'm like, you need, like, this car just, it's been very reliable for the few months that I've had it. And, I mean, everything works. It all fucking, you know, it hasn't let me down or anything, but it's an old vehicle. She's an old gal, and she needs some tender loving care. Like, just to have her checked out, get some belts replaced, you know, fix the little issues with it. Got a sound that comes from the fucking, some of the pulleys sometimes that I don't like, because it's like, sounds like a wheel that needs grease. Stuff like that. It's probably, actually, when I think about it, it's probably the tensioner pulley, because if it was the power steering pump that was loose and like making that sound, it would have probably broken. Or if it was the AC compressor, that would have probably broken. Or the alternator, I would probably notice power fluctuations, which I don't. Or, the water pump, that's driven off the timing belt. And that's gonna need replaced at some point too. I mean, it got replaced at 117,000 miles, so it'll be good to about 207,000 miles, should be. But I mean, we'll get to that point. I'll probably wait, and when I take it in to get the winter tires put on, I'll probably have that sorted out. Because I'm only going to just drive it to the bank once I get my other car back for the next 6 months until it's winter time again. But here we are. Good old Speedway. I'll see y'all next week.